It's a whole lot of things. I mean, a whole lot of wires, some relay systems, and then we have some ESP32. I believe you can actually see it quite close.
Welcome back to another episode of Community Projects with IPChain. Today we have Magnus, one of our earliest IPX community members. Magnus specializes in embedded systems, electronics design, IoT services, PC board development, and he's also a teacher. Magnus is very active on LinkedIn and he's always sharing updates about his designs. I'll put Magnus's profile in the description for those who want to stay up to date. So Magnus, welcome to the IPX studios. Glad to have you here.
So my name is Magnus. Jake have pretty much explained everything about me in terms of what I do, as well as what I represent in terms of embedded system. So I build around systems ranging in electronics down to mechanical designs, and then I get to integrate them using either IoT or physical interface, all depending as per project proposal. So it's really good to be on this conversation, and I believe there are a lot to talk and also get to learn from each other.
Thank you very much for the little introductions. Can you tell us a bit of a background story about a project that you'd like to talk about and why you designed it?
All right. Okay. So this is even prior to this conversation, I was actually working just to complete the hardware system that I'm currently working on. So I'm going to kind of bring them quite close while we're on this conversation. Just a moment.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So this is it's kind of heavy. So it's a smart system that I've been designing together with my team over time. So so let me just bring this quite close. So it's a whole lot of things. I mean, a whole lot of wires, some relay systems, and then we have some ESP32. I believe you can actually see it quite close. ESP32, and then we have the LCD for the interface. So this is a project I'm currently building, and I'm designing this together with my teammates. So we call this an engine metric system. So what engine metric system does is it monitors everything relating to engine system, most especially generator device. So here in Nigeria, I say over 60% of the population uses generator for electricity supply. Just as even as we have in this conversation, I'm currently running a generator at the background. So while we use this generator system for use, we tend to go for daily maintenance, which can always power, let's say once in a month, once in 2 months, or depending on the type or the model of generator individual houses. So I, together with my team, we realized the problem of people not having the efficient mode of which they can track possible faults in their generator device or engine system. So we decided to create a smart embedded device that can integrate with let's say generator device, which is commonly used here in Nigeria, and then being able to track possible faults in a system, track the possible faults, and also create an interface which a user can visualize, something like this, just as we have. So we created a mobile application just to monitor every variables of an engine system, the fuel level, the generator, just as I have currently running for me. So the system monitors the engine system and then track possible faults and interface all this information to a user on a mobile application. That's the engine metric system. So this is one of the most recent projects I'm working on, and this is something I'm happy to share with IPChain.
Yeah, that's really cool. You mentioned ESP32 on there. What are some of the other components you're using? If you're at liberty to say, or if you don't want to give too much away, then you don't have to. It's up to you.
No problem. Is something I am eager to share, and I made it just to express how we can easily integrate embedded system in solving real life problem, most especially having Africa as a case study and Nigeria as a subject. So for me, we used ESP32. So it's compatible for Wi-Fi communication. We can actually use it for remote communication or internet communication once we have that Wi-Fi access from either a source point and then picking it up from the ESP board. So we chose that because we wanted to have that IoT integration onto the system. Then there are other boards like that mega chip, the HTM chips, which we can easily use. But for the scope of, or let's say, the objectives we wanted to achieve at this stage, we tend to use ESP, and since it caters for the physical integration of the sensors and other trigger points of which you program the system, it also covers for the communication, which is the Wi-Fi communication, which takes this information from cloud down to the mobile application. So ESP is the best for the project.
Okay, that makes sense. As we're a community on IPXchange and we want to help each other, can you tell
Yeah.
us if you faced any problems so far with this design that you might be able to warn other design engineers about?
Yeah, I think this is even the best time for me to appreciate the team at IPChain. So there was a particular while I was building this project and some other system I was actually designing set with my teammate. So we figured out a particular challenge in terms of storage capacity and also higher processor chips. So while I applied on IPChain website in order to like take some board which would be functional for the particular solution we are trying to create. Uh, I would say I am so grateful at this point, IPChain. So IPChain was able to link me up with Rajiv. I believe you can remember Rajiv from United
Oh,
States.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
you've been in touch. That's great.
absolutely. Yeah. So I was able to speak with Rajiv and I got to see their unique board. I mean, it's an amazing system. It covers both GPS tracking system within a tiny framework, a small chip. It covers both wireless communication, that is Wi-Fi communication, GPS monitoring system. It has that on board, and it has a whole lot of features. And there are a lot of features if I can start to state. We have it has the higher memory size that we needed. It also has the processor speed is higher than that of ESP32 board. I will get to publish the board once the board reached to me. So I was able to discuss the solution we intended to build upon, and Raji was able to like share with us two of the hardware just for us to test this thing. And this came through from the link up of IPHN down to Rajiv and then to me as a
Amazing.
developer.
That's really good to hear.
Uh, yeah, so I'm so
I
grateful,
think I've
and
actually got. I
yeah,
might have
okay,
the
if you have
board
the
in the
board,
box somewhere,
all right,
um, or maybe it's in a box somewhere. It's
yeah.
Connexio you're talking about, isn't it?
Absolutely. I'm
I'll
just
put
trying to get
I'll
the
put a
right
little
name. Yeah.
video of the
Yeah.
board
You
over there
you
so people can see
you,
what you
you
mean.
know the board.
Um,
Here's their board, the Stratus, and there's a Stratus Pro coming soon. If you are looking to build any sort of cellular IoT device, especially if it requires GNSS for asset tracking or just location monitoring in general, got to check this out. Also, on off switch.
but
So
we've written an article about that, so I'll link that as well in the
mm,
description of this. But I'm glad that you've been chatting with Reggie. That's really good to hear.
yeah, I will highly recommend people to go to the website. There are lots of board they could review and also like check in terms of being compatible to some of the solutions they intend to build upon. While I was going through it, the board was so amazing. I'm still yet to like pronounce the right word. So once I get the board handy, it has been shipped from USA to here in Nigeria. So once it reaches to me in a few days from now, I will get to publish it and also get to show people how tiny it is, but yet powerful. So I will have people. This is just my kind recommendation for developers
Yeah.
like me, embedded system designers. They should just go to the website, review some of these boards, and you see that there are a lot of functionalities you can even get from some other boards still at the website. So that was one thing I could also point out while discussing challenges we face while designing systems like engine metric and other solutions that we've not yet published. So the community made it easier for us to like okay figure out what we need and then being able to get the right source of assessing the material or the right resources to creating those solutions.
Well, when that arrives, we'll have to do a review with you, then we can share that with the community as well. I'm sure
Uh,
Rajiv would be really happy with that.
yeah, absolutely, it is. Just okay, a minute. Let me. I wanted to get. Okay, it's not. There is another board that is kind of close to it, but I don't have it so close. I don't want to like begin to explore more.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Don't worry. What's the next design in the pipeline? Have you got anything in the works or?
Yeah, that was the design I was trying to talk to you about. But for the stage, we have the solution which we are trying to create. I don't feel we'll be obliged to like talk about it at this point until we're like
No
go
problem.
through the assembly stage, testing stage, and ensure that we have a working system, just as we have for the engine metric system, which is already working and functional.
I wanted to just go back to your the very beginning of the conversation about your introduction, that is you're a teacher as well. So just out of personal interest for me, what kind of teaching are you doing?
Okay, I have been in the field of embedded system for over 5 years. I mean, I started with analog electronics, and that has been my first love. And I get to realize that kicking off embedded system from the very basics, which is analog electronics. So kicking off from there, I got to see lots of possibilities. There are some things, or there are some issues I see some of my counterparts like encounter while designing some systems. I mean, these are people that have basic knowledge, or will I say, they have their full stream knowledge in embedded system, like the programming aspect, the data logging, analytics, and the rest. So I get to see that there are some challenges they get to experience in the field of electronics, still within the domain of embedded system. So they always have a
Yeah,
way of like trying to figure out how to fine tune these things, get this thing properly done. So they always get to fall into that limitation of finding a right way to kick in um, electronics, like analog electronics, down to broader level, which is the embedded system. So for me, being able to like go through the process of learning analog electronics, gather a lot of experience, build couple of oscillator circuits, amplifier systems, like a whole lot of things within the scope of analog electronics. I've been able to like figure out a way of manipulating some systems, and that has been able to give me a leverage to like think of something and then begin to build it. So
yeah, of course.
with this knowledge set, I realized that I have some certain gap between other people. So that was, will I say, what's kicking the need for me to like share also this knowledge to them and such. I find myself being a source of inspiration to other people within my capacity, and that has been an activity that has been ongoing like since 5 years now. And everywhere I found myself, ranging from here in my city, Abia State, I have a company I was actually working last year. That I'm not currently working there. While I was working there as an embedded system engineer, I still had the task of also training other interns, learners, users, or other people that registered for programs like that. So I've been able to, over time, find myself in one training institute, or will I say universities. I've been able to like get proposals from schools. They invite me to just come over. Okay, meet those in electronics engineering, get to like talk to them, and then share to them broader insights of how to integrate calculations in electronics down to real life solutions. So I've been able to see myself being a source of leverage for other people, and that has amounted to the reason why I've been teaching, and also having it as another skill that enables me to like to grow as well as impact other people.
Yeah, that's amazing. You have to pass on your knowledge, don't you? It's just a natural thing to do. That's great. Is there anything that you'd like to promote, as in on the at the end of this video, in terms of your hardware design
Okay.
services or anything? So it's just
Oh yeah, yeah. I will. I mean, IPChain have the platform as well as the community. So putting out my skill set out there is something I can always leverage from. I mean, people, other people that are always there checking on what IPChain have. So once you can put out this out there, it will also be a source of reach out to other people. And people that find things I do fascinating, they can always reach back to me and also recruit myself. So I would say just go ahead and then put out anything concerning what I'm doing, and I will be really grateful for that.
okay. Well, if anyone wants to see what Magnus is up to, then please follow Magnus's LinkedIn profile. As I said before, I'll leave it down in the description. But thank you very much for joining us, Magnus. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm sure we'll chat again very, very soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And also, I want to also say a big thank you to the team at IPChain. Imon, I mean, a whole lot of people. Jake, you both have been like amazing. I've been following the tour from the last tour from Germany, right? That was Germany, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
time's flying, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about a week or 2 weeks now. So I've been following the tour, and also a whole lot of things that have been going on. And I could say IPChain is just the right place for any developer to like have his gaze fixed upon. I mean, in terms of disruptive technologies, in terms of advanced hardware systems. Because for me, I've been able to benefit from some of the insight I've been able to gather from the documentations presented on the website, as well as the regular updates on LinkedIn. So IPChain is something I will, or is a platform I will definitely tell other developers to like hold onto, and then get to see what you can always gather for yourself.
That's what I like to hear. Thank you. That's the best recommendation I could ever ask for. So thank you very
Yeah.
much. And thanks again for your time.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much.